But tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Karrine-Jean Pierre has recently come out and tried to debunk what people are saying. Now, people are come out, and we've showed it on the FEMA website here on this particular podcast, where FEMA had taken, $640 million and used it for the migrant crisis. Now, Karrine-Jean Pierre and the mainstream media are saying that did not happen. That is, misinformation, etc. Well, a video has been put together of Karrine-Jean Pierre literally debunking her own self. I don't know if you've seen this video. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Just categorically false. No, Biden did not take FEMA relief money to use on migrants. So FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants.
Well, it seems like that was a great fact check, and it seems like the mainstream media is once again not telling the truth. Why are y'all doing that? Why are y'all accusing people of putting out misinformation? Why is that? When clearly that video from 2022, she was clearly saying that they was taking money from FEMA and using it for migrants. See, what y'all don't like is that American citizens have caught on to y'all. They've caught on, they see what it is and see the game. Now, let me tell you something, American citizens that could be watching this right now. You got an election coming up November the 5th. And because these people always trying to tell you some sort of misinformation, disinformation, especially when you catch them, in real time of what they have been doing, we cannot take no more to gaslighting to the American people, right? This administration has done so much for migrants, and the migrants keep coming because they call their friends back home and say, hey, I got a free cell phone. I'm laid up in a hotel. Look, you think they don't FaceTime their friends back home, their family back home, and say, look where I'm staying. I'm not paying anything. Look, I'm in New York City. Look, I get free food. Like, for real? That's what you get? Man, like, shoot, what I got to do to get me down? Hey, man, shoot, they got this app, CBP1, you could try. And if that don't work, then you could probably get on a caravan and come on up here. Just turn yourself in. Like, man, bet. Yeah, I'm coming. Why wouldn't they come? The Biden-Harris administration has incentivized them to come. And they're coming. And they've been using money because the states and the cities have been saying, hey, man, we're draining all our resources to sit up here and facilitate all these migrants. So they were reimbursing them for that, right? Now, Eric Adams in New York obviously didn't get enough money because I guess he was spending more money than what he was getting from the Biden-Harris administration. And so Eric Adams in New York started speaking out about it and say, hey, man, like, nah, this is going to break the city. This is going to be, it's going to change New York as we know it. And you seen what the migrants start doing in New York. They start just wilding out, right? But anytime they're coming out here, and we know this is the left-wing media that's always saying this, the MSNBCs, the CNNs, anybody left-wing, always saying somebody putting out some misinformation, right? Well, think about the issue why people complaining. You have American citizens who's suffering a hurricane. They can kind of compare it to Katrina, right? They're suffering a hurricane. They need help, and yet they're seeing their tax dollars go all in the billions to Ukraine, going in the billions to Israel, but yet can't do anything. And then on the home front, they're seeing all the millions going to the migrants, right? And it has been in the billions when you look at all the money that's been spent over the years. So this is why we don't really believe the media anymore, is because they have lied to us time and time and time and time again. This is why they are literally delegitimized. Now, your local media, you're watching for the local news, but when it comes to political discourse, actually telling the truth, they are propaganda mills that's got to push a certain propaganda. That's just really what it is, right? The American people always double check and triple check what the mainstream media is telling you. of course, I understand there are people out here that's putting out some wrong information. I get that, right? But that's why we need to double check and triple check what's being put out here. You understand? But most people, they get it. Most people are smart, from what I see. Not everybody is not learned like that. A lot of people got good common sense about themselves, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, I like to hear what the mainstream media has to say about this video, about Karrine-Jean Pierre literally debunking herself from 2 years prior. Instead of worrying about debunking something, get help to the people. We shouldn't even be discussing about this. We should say, hey, let's get all the federal resources we can to help people in the hurricane zone. I've lived in a hurricane zone my whole life, so I know what those people are going through. I sympathize with those people. And it's not right. Those people are taxpayers. Those people are Americans. And those Americans need help, and they need it now. While Americans suffering, Vice President Kamala Harris running around here campaigning instead of having herself over there and helping the American people. Maybe she could win the election if she go help those people, and they see how caring she is, right? But they not worried about that. They worried about trying to win some election, right? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we always going to be here to look into this, and the mainstream media, they have lied so much to us, and that's why none of us believe